All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday evening. I am so excited for tonight for Ashlyn to share with us on something on a really special topic that I think a lot of us need to hear right now. I think we all need this message tonight. And Erin and I have also prepared just some things to ponder for ourselves, to find some joy in this business and to really think about where we're at. So super excited for tonight's topic, but let's open it up for recognition before we kick it off.
I'll go. I want to shout out my coach, Nick. She is in her second month of coaching. She is like a completion of a share card away from locking in her second month of Success Club. And she's like stepping out of her comfort zone so huge lately. She just messaged me that she wants to freak out a little bit because she just did her first live on Instagram. So just really, really proud of you for doing those things that make you a little bit nervous, but doing them anyways. Way to go, Nick.
Anybody else? Not that from you, Erin, either? All right, let's kick it off. So Ashlyn Dion is speaking with us tonight. You guys all know her. If you are in Coach Corner, she is an absolute superstar, and they are constantly pouring into this coach community. It honestly is so incredible to have energy like you, and we're not all alike. That's why this community is stronger together and is incredible together. But you are so special within the Sisterhood Coaches, Ashlyn. So just a huge shout out for your constant energy that you pour into Coach Corner every single day. Ashlyn is a diamond coach. She is in her qualification right now, her 6-week qualification for diamond and her 10-week qualification for the Sisterhood Coaches Diamond Retreat that's in September. So I'm so excited for that and looking forward to hearing from you tonight. So welcome, Ashlyn.
Well, that just about made me cry. I've been coaching for about 22 months. I started about a month into my Beachbody journey. So I still had this huge hill ahead of me in terms of, wanting to achieve my goals and change, transform myself inside and out. But something that I think a lot of people don't know is that I seriously considered quitting coaching last summer. To the point where I canceled all of my subscriptions on my spouse account. And I even told my husband, listen, I think I'm done, which he has not always been the most supporting of my coaching journey. So that was a pretty finite step for me to kind of say that out loud to him. But I knew deep down inside that my reason for wanting to quit had nothing to do with coaching and everything to do with the fact that I had completely derailed my journey in terms of nutrition when the summer hit last year. The sunshine would come out, the White Claws would call to me, I would drink more than I intended to, I would eat more than I intended to. I'd find myself in the kitchen, eating all the food, thinking about what was in the pantry, and that would turn into a restless sleep. And my body would be processing everything. I would have night sweats. I would wake up tired, restless. I wouldn't want to do my workouts, but I would do them anyways because I felt forced to because I was a coach. And that kind of accountability of coaching is like a good news, bad news kind of thing, right? It keeps you showing up even when you don't feel like it. And even though I was doing 6:45, I was showing up 6 days a week doing my workout. From the span of July to October, I gained 25 pounds. And that was just because I was eating like crap. And I don't know about you guys, but if I am not on my journey, I'm not on my coaching because I don't feel authentic. I feel like a fraud in my journey. I can't tell people how great this is because I'm feeling like junk, and so I wasn't showing up properly in my business. And I think that that is really relevant because every time that I've had some bumps in my nutrition and other coaches that I've spoken to too, it's really made an impact on how I show up on how I'm inviting. I'm doing, mindless scrolling instead of reaching out to people because I wouldn't want to join me. So why would anybody else? And that was a big eye-opening thing for me, because wanting to quit coaching wasn't going to help me feel better. Cutting the crap would help me feel better, right? Because it's really easy to stop caring for yourself and to stop pressing play and to stop trying when no one's watching. Coaching gave me that resentful, grateful accountability that has kept me going, like more so than ever in my entire life. Because if I'm not on my nutrition, everything slides. I stop washing my face. I stop taking my supplements. I lose patience with my family. I struggle to show up authentically. And the only thing that pulls me back from that is coaching. So, I don't know if some of you are in this stage in terms of nutrition and how that affects you, but maybe you're in the stage of falling off of coaching, or you're wondering if this is for you, where you fit in, if you're doing enough. And maybe it seems hard. Maybe you're comparing yourself to other leaders and they've been doing it longer, and you're thinking like they've got it all figured out. And you're telling yourself that it's like a you thing and you're not meant to have what they have, that you don't have the consistency, that you don't have the ability to hit SC or to inspire others or to find the time to do the things. And the ball starts to drop. And the farther it drops, the harder it seems to pick back up. And it's, been a week and a half since you last posted, since you felt inspired. And the longer you wait, the harder it is to come up with something. And you put this pressure on yourself to have this like amazing post, and it's just not happening. And, that standard starts to drop and drop and drop because you stop doing the things and you stop believing in yourself and you feel like you're not doing enough, but you can't possibly do more, and you're questioning yourself. And so I read this quote the other day, and it was shared by one of my coaches, Natalie. And at first I looked at it in terms of my nutrition and how it can waver. But then I started to look at it with coaching in mind, and how it doesn't always need to be a steady progression of rank and achievement to feel confident in your title of a coach, and how you don't always have to be full steam ahead, and how it's okay that you can have periods where you work really hard and then periods of rest and goals based on you. So here's the quote: "Progress isn't always about getting better. Sometimes it's about bouncing back. Success is not only the peaks you reach, it's the valleys you conquer. And every experience of enduring adversity and overcoming obstacles is a meaningful accomplishment. Resilience is a form of growth." So the question comes, how do you find that resilience and keep going in the business when life is incredibly busy and you start to convince yourself that you can't, and you're drowning in that mom life, work, school activities, laundry, balance, dishes life that, like, right now, this month just has seemed really crazy for that. And I know that a lot of you have felt that too. So what you have to do, and what's always worked for me, is reminding yourself that you're human and that being perfect is not the goal. In fact, being imperfect is authentic and relatable. And to do that, you have to find your joy in coaching and what that means for you. So, if I didn't make it abundantly clear, my number one joy in coaching has always been the accountability in my journey. It's something that I've never been able to find my entire life. And coaching has given me that. And, not to say that there hasn't been ups and downs, but it's kept me going. And community, of course, the community, and now that events are back, that has been my joy. And that's what's keeping me going when times are really tough in coaching. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What is your joy? Like, what is, if you were to quit coaching and lose coaching and this would no longer be a part of your life, what is the thing that you would be scared to lose if you were not a coach? The joy, what keeps you going? So, income, impacting other women's lives, community, events, the energy of the events, community, friendships, community for everybody, accountability. Okay, so so that's something that I know that if I wasn't coaching, that I 100% would lose, the community, and then of course the accountability. So I was thinking about this today, and when times get tough and you start to kind of waffle in how committed you are in this coaching thing, to write something down, in your phone. I'm talking, can you please? To write it down on your phone or write it on a Post-it note, but set a reminder in your phone and have the reminder pop up for that time of day where you start to second guess yourself, you know, whether or not it's whether or not it's, you know, 8 p.m. when the kids are in bed and you want to deep dive into the pantry and eat everything. 8 p.m., have your phone go off. Hey, remember how good it feels to wake up feeling good. Or when you've told yourself it's time to do the bat, it's time to connect and, you know, reach out to new people, and makes me cringe until I do it and then it feels good. But I'm going to make a reminder to myself how good it's going to feel when I check those things off my list, when I put that 20 minutes in instead of going to the couch on Netflix. And I think that, yeah, I just became a leader in front of him, like, get out of this room. But I think that that's really powerful to set that reminder for yourself when that time of day hits, when you are your weakest, okay, when it comes to doing your goals. So if you're in a season of overwhelm, remind yourself. Okay, now the second to my own accountability, which almost every one of you said, was community. And now that events are back, we've had a chance to have a couple, you know, full-on Beachbody events, and there've been smaller, you know, kind of coachings that have gone on. But there's a really big part of me that loves to sabotage not only my nutrition, but my belief in myself. You know, before every single event, before the SC trip, before the Super Saturday, I started telling myself that I wouldn't have anything of value to say to anybody, that I wouldn't meet people's expectations, wondering how I would contribute to conversations and how I would appear compared to, you know, all these people that I've met behind a screen. I don't know if anybody's ever felt that before, show of hands, like worried to meet other people. But there's something really powerful that I read in the book, Turning Off the Tap, about how our brain is set to keep us safe by helping keep us from taking risks. And any type of risk that you could risk, you know, even if there's a small margin of embarrassment or someone telling you no or letting yourself down. And so your brain brings you to this point of just not even bothering to try. But there's this huge chance that you can have this wonderful experience. And so I think a lot of people, you know, stay quiet in the chats and they feel like they need to hide on the sidelines and not contribute. But the whole beauty of this and coaching is the people that come to it. And, you know, I know that there's been a lot of people that have been around for a long time and it feels like they're kind of the OGs. And, you know, even I tell myself like, oh, I'm so small compared to everybody else, you know what I mean? But it's not true. And I think we all have so much value. And I know that there's a big part of, you know, coaching that you hear people say, like, turn on your blinders, don't follow other coaches, don't compare, stay in your own lane. But I also think that there's a lot of value in like finding coaches that are in kind of the same lane as you, that you can connect with, that you can learn from and talk to, and, you know, on a personal level, but on a business level too. So turn off your blinders, but also open your heart to the connections that you can make and people that you can meet, because there's something really, really powerful and really exciting about that. And yeah, it's just so beautiful. And again, it's another part of the joy of coaching. So in order to go to an event and feel confident and happy about things like that, all of us that are going to Summit or to the Super Saturday weekend in August, one thing that is going to be really important for you to be able to show up like that is to feel confident and as though you deserve to be there. Okay. And the beauty of this business is that you get to determine what makes you deserving. Nobody but you. So that's why for example, I did the BAT challenge before the SC trip in March, because I wanted to show up to that trip and feel like I was doing the things, that I was a coach that deserved to be there. I wanted to hit SC. I wanted to have it locked in before my trip. Like I really wanted to just feel like I was amongst my people. So you need to decide what you want from this business and be confident in that. And, you know, there's so many incredible leaders on this team that devote a lot of time to coaching. And at this point in my life, in the chaos of motherhood and my day job is incredibly stressful, I don't have aspirations of being the next Kim Fitzpatrick. You know, I know my limitations and I know my goals, and it's not to say that my goals might not change in the future, where I want to really put a lot more time into this. But For now, it's about setting my own standards and my own non-negotiables. And so that's what I really want to encourage you guys to do, especially, the newer coaches, the people that, if you maybe feel like you're watching others and not quite sure how you measure up, that's when it's time to decide what that means for you. So maybe it's not about doing the BAT daily, but a few times a week, and deciding how many times a week you feel is reasonable for you to get done, so that you're not going to bed feeling less than, feeling like you haven't committed to your goals. But you're going to bed and saying, I did my 4 times of the BAT. Let's be honest, a lot of the BAT is pretty standard. We are showing up, we're drinking our pre-workout, we're doing our workouts, we're posting our communities. I mean, that stuff, it's second nature at this point, right? But the things that are really important, like reaching out and connecting with new people and engaging, that's what's going to keep your business going, right? We all know it's a 3-month game. So you have to really pick and choose your battles and what's important to you. And in a sense that you can feel proud of yourself at the end of the day, right? So for myself, for example, my standards in coaching, hitting Success Club is a non-negotiable for me. 21 months now since I've started coaching. It'll be 22 months hitting SC at the end of June. I still have 2 more to go, but I'm confident I'm going to get there. 21 months in Success Club, and not hitting it for me is not an option. And I did spend a long time of my coaching career worrying every month, like, okay, this is going to be the month that I don't hit it, like worried. But I think at some point you have to stop worrying that you're not going to hit it and just believe that it's going to happen, right? If you're showing up authentically for yourself and you are showing up, getting that glow on because you're hitting your nutrition and you're not binge eating in the car, you're feeling good and you are resonating with people. So for me, that motivates me. I want to keep my community growing and engaged. You need to have new blood constantly going in order to keep those communities growing. And it all circles back again to that joy. Having new people come in helps me keep excited about getting them the results, and it has me continuing to show up. So I think too, it should be said that it's not always been easy. Like, I have been subject to sending those cringy invites, those, copy and paste invites to people where it's clear that I've just changed the name here and there. And I look back sometimes when I'm connecting with people and I see that past message that I've sent, like, oh God, I can't believe I sent that. But you learn from it, right? So don't just hide under a rock when you post a video and you think that was the worst thing ever. Or I remember the first time I posted a workout, I was like, and that's not for me. I will never be posting a workout video again. Thank you. I tried it. I'm going to be one of those coaches that doesn't post a workout video, but we all get past it, right? And people watch us show up. So figure out what that is for you. What's your non-negotiable, and drop the guilt, because I used to be riddled with guilt for not doing the BAT. I used to feel like I wasn't showing up properly. And the fact that I hadn't rank advanced to Beyond Emerald until last month. I mean, it took me 21 months to hit Diamond. And tomorrow I hit 4 weeks of my Diamond qualification. So I have 1 more week until I'm qualified for the Crush Diamond Day, which I'm so excited about. 6 more weeks, I will be qualifying for the Sisterhood Retreat this year. But, the fact that it took me 21 months, a big part of me felt like when I finally hit it, that it was really anticlimactic for me in my own heart, because I thought, you know what, people are going to look at that and go, oh, what took you so long? Oh, she finally hit it. That took a while. And I felt like I wasn't meeting up to people's expectations. There's a lot of incredible coaches out there that hit the ground running and they just seem to rank advanced so fast. And that's incredible for them, because obviously they're putting in the work and they're working really hard and they have great networks around them and they are putting it to use. And I felt a little bit of shame for myself that it took me so long to get there. But like this whole call is about, I did it on my terms. I didn't want to build up a spouse account and be worried monthly that someone was going to drop a PC. I didn't want to be, awake at night checking my emails, worried about that I was trying to hit in qualification. So it took me some time, but I am where I am now, and I feel, confident. I feel like I'm on solid grounds, and my goals, again, my joy, my accountability, my community, right? And I had that, and everything else is just gravy. And the paycheck, paying for my supplements, anything above that, I'm so happy about it, right? So my message for you, my main message is just not to let others people's success determine your worthiness. if somebody else hits a rank earlier than you, if somebody, if you drop a rank, if you don't hit Success Club, if you feel like you're not doing as much as somebody else, don't compare yourself to them. Some people have been doing this for years, okay? And they've gone through all of it. I'm sure you could ask anyone and everyone goes through their fair share of doubts. It's your business. You get to determine what makes you feel a sense of purpose and accomplishment in it. So what's that for you? The joy of having another woman thank you for helping her change your life, having your products paid for, seeing your name on that SC leaderboard. That's pretty exciting. I love seeing that every month. In fact, this month when I got to see the little diamond beside it, I had to take a screenshot and send it to Erin because I was so excited. So do I think you should do the BAT? Yes, but on your terms and based on your goals. And if your goal is to quit your day job, then you'll have to do it more often. And if your goal is to have a little extra income and pay for your products and to force yourself to rebound from your nutrition 1,000 times because you know how great it feels to wake up in the morning, then that's amazing. And figure out what you need to do to get there, to reach those goals, right? And to be authentic as hell when you're doing it and honest about the ups and downs and to inspire people to believe that they can do it too. Okay, so I also want to talk about something that I have always rolled my eyes at and never wanted to do, and it was goal setting. Writing goals has always been really scary for me because I'm the type of person that sets a goal, immediately decides I can't do it, and stops even trying. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but setting goals is scary. But I think it was probably around the April Super Weekend. I, said to myself, I'm done missing events. And unfortunately, I can't make it to Summit because it's our family vacation that week. But aside from that, I am done missing events. Okay. So I decided I wanted to hit Diamond and I started to write it down every single morning in my See the Good journal. I started writing down, I'm a Diamond coach. And then I started writing down, qualify for the Sisterhood retreat. And then I started writing down, I'm going to be team leader. And then I started writing down NLC 2023 attendee. And I want to say honestly, within a couple of weeks, I was a Diamond coach and I'm 3 points away from team builder. So these things are starting to come true and I've never written them down before that time ever because it just felt like this ridiculous thing. I'm going to think that I'm going to get it and that's enough. And I'm not going to write it down. But when you start writing your dreams down and your goals, things start to happen. So maybe I'm not going to hit them all, and that's okay. And you know why? Because as the CEO on my day job, so we had a town hall over Zoom, and somebody asked her, we have this big goal. They call it our big, hairy, audacious goal, and it's for 2030. And they said, do you think we're going to reach this goal? And she said, I hope that we will, but because I'm an optimist, I hope that we will. But even if we don't, there's greatness in striving for a goal and what's achieved in striving for it, right? So even if you don't hit all those goals, all those things you're aiming for, you're working for it, right? You're doing all the things, you're feeling good in it. And those actions are never going to steer you wrong, even if you don't hit those big goals. So dream big and don't be scared to dream because hitting the goal isn't the only part of it, right? Sometimes working towards it is the best part. So I want you to find pride in your role as a coach, regardless of where you are, regardless of, your rank and the things that you see others doing that you feel like you should be doing too. Just find pride in what you're doing because you're impacting lives, yourselves and your families, the most of it. And that is what I have to say for tonight.
Erin, you're up, eh? Are you just moving? Ashlyn, so freaking powerful. Like, I think that this message is one of the most important messages for all coaches to hear. And that is that you have to do this business on your terms. And I think I texted your coach, Erin, while you were talking, and I said, she's grown so damn much, like so damn much, because a year ago, you had no idea. Like, I'm not to say, I don't want to say no idea, but like you were figuring out who you were in this business and what you wanted and what this business meant like for you. And you were feeling shitty for not hitting Diamond and not this and not that, right? And over the past year, I've watched you totally figured that out. I think I resonate so much with you. The accountability for me is so much of this, right? And that is okay for that to be a huge part of your joy in this business. I've never heard someone say that their joy in this business is the accountability and is following through. Like, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing and for being so eloquent and such an amazing speaker. You've grown so freaking damn much, Ashlyn. Erin is in her office. You're up, sis.
Hey, that was incredible, Ashlyn. I was like this the entire time. I think sometimes it's like Courtney and I and Jen have now been coaching for 4 years. And I think sometimes people forget that we too were beginners. We too started at like 0 clients and 0 coaches. And we too go through that, what we coin the coach coaster. And those first, I would even go to say as far as those first 2 full years were hard. Were a full struggle for me. And I, like Ashlyn said, I daily doubted, daily embarrassed, daily like questioned. And it, like, I didn't have quick success. I didn't hit Success Club every single month. I didn't hit Success Starter. And I've shared often, and maybe not to everybody on this call, my story, because maybe you've been newer and haven't heard me share this story before. Just one sec. Are you good? Okay. Why don't you go have your shower? Okay. It like Courtney started coaching and then I very timidly followed behind, and I didn't see the quick success that she did when we went to our first summit. Our second summit. Once I went to the first summit just as her wing woman, like not sure what I was doing. And then that second summit, after working my ass off for a year, I was barely a diamond coach, barely. And the coaches that I had have since long quit. Like, they weren't really committed. It wasn't their thing. And I remember distinctly that first night being like riddled with embarrassment and sadness that I was a failure in this business. And Courtney and Jen both got to go to the stage. They both walked across the stage, and I literally sat like up the top of like a football stadium in the nosebleeds, like having a pity party and feeling sorry for myself that I hadn't figured this business out and that I was a total failure in it. And I will never forget that feeling. It sucks. And I left that summit being like, I really have 2 choices. Like, I can just quit and keep my embarrassment for myself. Nobody will know the better that I like failed at this business, or I can work harder than every single person in that stadium and come back with a vengeance. Because I knew that I could work hard. If I wanted to do something, I could work hard at it. So I kept going. I didn't change anything. And this is what I've said a million times. I didn't change anything in order to get the success. I just kept going. And a huge part of my success I would say my resilience and commitment in those first 2 years was truly see the good and what I've created now to share with you guys. But at that time, it was me like figuring it out, right? So at the time, I really focused on a book of wins. I would do my gratitude journal. It's like I had a bunch of things like gratitude journal. I do my affirmation cards and all that. But a huge part of my like resilience came from my celebrations and daily looking at the good that would validate me for staying in coaching. Like, why is this the right path? What am I doing that's well? How is this like, is this my path? And it was like daily I was seeking validation, and daily I was dropping those drops in my bucket of, you can do this. And I want to share that in those early days, my celebrations were really simple and really small. But it was those small things over time that compounded that I'd be like, I'm doing it. You know, like one of the biggest successes I found in those first 2 years, I'll never forget it, was I was picking my kids up from school and a dad came up to me out of nowhere and was like, hey, I see what you're doing for the mom. Like, I could cry about it. He's like, I see what you're doing for the moms. Way to go. And this is like a dad who's super fit and like was like big gym goer. And like, I was mortified because I'd seen him follow me a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. It changed me. It was the biggest compliment. And he had no reason to do that for me. I wrote that down, and I wrote that down often. Like that message from a practical stranger literally was like, I'm on the right path. I'm doing the thing. I am doing it well. That's a celebration. That's a win. I just wrote some down here, so I want to look. The other wins, like literally, was who I was becoming. Like finishing a PD book and actually having like aha moments in a PD book, or noticing that I'm less yelly to my kids, feeling like I had a calm day the day before. That's a huge freaking win. Like my journey in those 2 years, what were the wins? Like obviously like sending a share card or helping somebody, or hitting a like SC2, that those were massive wins. Those were easy ones to write down. But in absence of those, I looked every single day for the things that validated the path. So that was sometimes messages from friends being like, amazing job, or I see what you're doing, or you're looking great, or you look really happy, or a message from a client or a coach. Like if I had a coach and they sold a challenge pack, that's massive win. Massive win. I wrote that down every single day. If I had or I was making a connection with another coach and I felt like this coach was now like not even on my team, but a coach that was brought into my life that I wouldn't have met otherwise, that's a massive win. That to me validated the path. Like I'm meeting these people are coming into my life because of this journey, because of this commitment. Keep going, looking now more like any sort of progressions in my pay, any pay, I was like, win, I'm making money doing this. I'm killing it. Any like clients posting in the group, a client who would show up regularly, like those are massive wins. These are all massive wins that every day I wouldn't do my workout until I wrote something down. And listen, some days were hella mortifying and embarrassing. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. All I'm doing is embarrassing myself. And I would sit there for like a long time trying to find something, but I would write down one thing. And if I couldn't find something, I would literally go back to the beginning and read over all of the things to like drop in my bucket validation that you're on the right path. Those first 2 years are hard, and hard in the sense that like you're giving and giving and giving and you're not getting so much in return. You're just not. It's like you going up that escalator, so you have to do your best to see the good. You have to do your best to remind yourself and be your biggest cheerleader and be the drops in your confidence bucket to validate the path that you're on. If you really want something out of this, you have to know that it's not going to be, the line doesn't go like this. It's not like you start and you're like, and I'm up and I'm just walking my way up. No, it's hard. It's daily hard, because being the light for everybody else, especially when everybody else is in the dumps, not easy. And the more real you are in your journey and what you're doing, the more you're going to connect with other people, the more they're going to connect with you. So I urge you to think about how you can see the good in the journey that you're on, how you can help yourself to validate the path that you're on and find that inner joy. Ashlyn was talking a little bit about how she sets alarms. I do the same. I have alarms that go off on my phone every single day, and I put them strategically at times that are chaotic. I put them right at dinner time. I put them at bedtime, and they're alarms that say, stop and see the good. And some days I'm like, turn it off. Like I'm far for the phone and the kids are crazy. I'm like, turn it off. And other days I literally catch it and it catches me and it takes my breath away. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is my life and this life is pretty great. But whatever you need in your life, what maybe it's Ashlyn, what she said about like dinner and done, think of how good it's going to feel tomorrow morning, or think about what you need. Be that, like, take a step back, be the third person in your life and be the cheerleader that you need. Okay, put those reminders in your phone. Courtney and I were talking also about another idea is like creating a note in your phone and call it see the good, call it book of wins, call it my celebrations, whatever you want to do, and challenge yourself to add to it throughout the day. if you notice things like those like little stranger dads who come up to you and say, I see what you're doing. Like those moments happen to you throughout the day. Maybe it's just a comment on a post that you say, or a message from somebody, or somebody posts something great in your challenge group, or you feel amazing after a workout. Like all of these wins, add them. And then at the end of the week, go back and read them. I promise you, it'll start to change your perspective. And as you do this over and over and over, I posted this post. I actually reshared it on my stories today. It was like, repetition is what changes the brain. You repeat and repeat and repeat this behavior. That's what ends up transforming you. I didn't become confident through coaching. I can be confident through coaching every single day on purpose, like dropping the drops in my confidence bucket. So that's my message for you guys tonight. Corey, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, I love that. And I told Erin today, I said, I'm struggling with your journal. Like, I don't know what to write. I still find I write the same things. And, you know, I'm probing her to teach us to see the good, right? Because just because you get a journal doesn't mean that you're able to see the good. We have to figure out a way to force ourselves into that. So I love the note thing. I'm going to try that, putting it on my phone, and then just like over the course of the day, trying to add a couple things. And then maybe on Sunday, sitting down and reading that entire note and seeing the good for my entire week. Okay, I'm going to shift a little bit to some practical things to help us find the joy in coaching and to move the needle forward a little bit and to make a shift and to like feel some renewed energy. So one of the very first things I want to talk about tonight is taking ownership in your client group. As most of you guys have seen, Erin and I shifted and have separated to do our own client groups. It's honestly mostly because like Erin is a fucking consistent unicorn, and in a perfect world, we complement each other so beautifully that we should be running this together. But I struggle with self-sabotage so much so that I let people take the lead. If someone's going to do it for me, I'll let them do it, you know? And I wasn't taking ownership of my own clients. And that was the main reason that that I had to step out and do my own thing. And as soon as I did, it was like, as soon as I got on Canva to figure out like, okay, what is my group name? What's it going to look like? I immediately went to Rainbow Leopard because Erin's been holding me back from my Rainbow Leopard for the past 4 years. Every time we like go to design something, she's like, ew, you know? And it really, really made me realize you can't make it your own if it's not your own. And you can't have ownership over your group if it's not your group. And there is a beautiful space to have partnerships and teams and all that good stuff. But I think if this is our business, we need to take ownership. And I want you to take some time and think about your community and think about what excites you about it. Because nobody cares about your brand as much like you do. Your clients don't really care about your brand, right? Your brand is there to inspire you and to make you feel connected to what you're inviting to make you feel excited to bring someone in there. And if you're not excited to bring someone in there, then nobody's going to be excited to join it, you know? Even when Fire and Flow launched, I'm really trying to change my messaging to like, yes, I'm starting a new program. Yes, that's going to be great. But nobody that is brand new, which our goal is always to find new people, right? They don't know what Fire and Flow is. They don't fucking care. Like they have no clue, you know? Maybe it's not even the program that's best for them. But my hope is that they need help with self-sabotage, emotional eating, all the other things that I want my group to be about. And by focusing on new PD that can become my content, like that's inspiring me. The next thing is like to set a new goal in your own personal journey. And just like Ashlyn has said, my business is best when my journey is best. And so it all is under the same ecosystem. Like Erin and I's, the Sisterhood Coaches is an extremely successful team, but there was sort of a time period, probably like year 2 to 3, where Erin and I put so much time, effort, money into our coach group that we forgot what this business is truly about, our client group. This business is about your community. The entire way to see success and find joy is to transform lives in your community. When someone sees results, when someone says thank you, when someone gets a compliment, like those are those drops in your bucket as a coach. Like you feel like you helped someone, like when Ashlyn like had that powerful physical transformation, she's not even my client, but I felt the impact of it. Like maybe one day you're going to have a coach who has a client. That's your impact because you went first. And those are some of the most incredible feelings that you can accumulate for your book of wins, just for your own self, pride in what you're doing. But you need to be continually setting new personal goals. So what is your personal goal for the summer? Don't lose 10 pounds. Like we're grown ass women, and our weight is just, coming along for the journey. Let's shift. Let's get outside. Let's create new hobbies. That gets exciting. That is inspiring. These programs, as you carry on in your coach journey, it's just your morning routine, right? It's your 30 minutes in your gym. But to create lifestyle and inspire people to live happy, healthy, fulfilling lives, we need to do more than just be in our gym. So get outside and do something new. Buy a used bike, like buy some rollerblades. Download All Trails and see what hikes are around you. Do something different. Set a new personal goal in your journey to show people that you're not just drinking Beachbody Kool-Aid. You're striving to live a different type of lifestyle. And I always share try one new recipe a week, because it's like eating the same thing, it's just not sustainable. And I've really come to realize, especially as I've been diving into my emotional eating habits and all like the nutrition stuff, it's like, I know how to lose weight. I know how to follow these programs to a T, but I've been really derailed this last year because there's been moments where I've attempted to go all in and follow a program, and I haven't acknowledged that I'm not in that phase of life anymore. When I started these programs and I, went all in and I lost a whole bunch of weight, like I had just had a baby. I wanted to release that baby weight, and I had just started my journey. But I can't feel joy in my belly about being all in 24 fucking 7, 3, 6, 5. Like I can't. And I started to get into this negative cycle of like, oh my God, like I almost feel like, coaching is creating this like eating disorder within me. I'm like constantly focusing on what's going in, and it's like exhausting. But I realized it's just because I hadn't allowed myself to shift with my own personal journey. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm up 20 pounds from my lowest Beachbody weight, but I'm still not trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to live a healthy, happy, fulfilling lifestyle. And so in order to do that, I need to try new recipes, and I need to get outside and do new things, and that's exciting. That's also new content and value for your group. This job forces you to live a healthy, fulfilling, happy lifestyle genuinely, like authentically, right? It's not just right here. It doesn't end with 30 minutes. It's actual changes in your life. And it's the gift of coaching, and it's the joy, because Ashlyn said, oh, dinner and done, go to bed. How good are you going to feel in the morning? That's how I feel after my run today. I wanted to choose a new path. I was going to go super slow, choose a new path, and we got lost, and I couldn't find a way back. My community has a lot of dead end roads with like rocks and stuff, and Ainsley brought her electric scooter, and like it was like I couldn't find an access road back, but I knew our house was like right there. I literally lifted up her electric scooter and jogged over the rock road. And I was like, fuck. And then, you know what? Like, and I'm just realizing right now that that's a win because I'm not training myself to see my wins. That's the win, you know? Your energy is going to improve as your commitment shines through. And maybe we should write down what our commitment is, you know, like I'm renewing my commitment. It's not to lose 20 pounds. It's genuinely like, I want to be an athlete. You know, why not me? Why not me? I want to change who I am. And I have, and I'm going to continue to do that. That's my commitment. You know? So what's yours? Don't limit it to 30 minutes and 4 weeks and 80 days. Don't limit it to that. That's a part of it, but don't limit it to that. Lean in and make friends. Ashlyn did sabotage getting to that diamond retreat last summer. She did. It was dangling right in front of her, and she sabotaged getting there. And we wanted her there so bad because she deserved to be there. It's not even about rank. It's about your commitment and your heart in this business. Those are the women that we're hoping to surround ourselves with at these types of retreat. And there's those ranks and qualifications in place because we want to make sure that we're surrounding you all with the right type of people too, right? But you got to lean in because as women in our 30s and 40s and whatever, 20s, 50s, we don't make new friends that easily, right? Like, I didn't think I needed new friends when I joined this, but like this is all my friends now, you know? Like I still have my like really close friends or whatever, but this is it for me. Like the events that I go to are so fulfilling for me. They're so fulfilling. When I went to Summit the first time, like I never thought I would travel alone. Like what? Get on an airplane alone without my kids, without my husband, without anybody and just go somewhere? Like that was a huge level up for me, you know? And that gave me the bug and the permission and the excitement. And what I justify it with is building this business, right? I can't just go to all the events every year and not build the business because I'd be out of pocket big time, right? So that is the joy for me, but coaching is still my vehicle, you know? So it's like once you truly understand the joy that coaching can give you, it can offer you that motivation to do the things and the activities required in order to maintain that, you know? Like the events, the accountability, the commitment, the community, those are my joy. But for me at this level, I need to build my business in order to maintain that. And those come hand in hand, you know? The next one is be okay with where you're at in coaching. Like, guys, there's people on this team that are hobby coaches, and that's exactly what they're meant to do and be. That's okay too, right? Like, if you are loving the community and paying for your Shakeology, that's great. Don't put yourself down for it. If that's bringing you joy, be okay with it. If you want to make $1,000 a month, then level up and track your income every Thursday. Write it down, get a spreadsheet, get excited. Like I remember when COVID hit last year, I had a goal to pay off my credit cards. I had 20 grand in debt and I pinned that up. That was my motivation. I was like, every Thursday I was putting as many dollars as I could on those cards. I was crossing off the number, changing it to a little bit lower, little bit lower, little bit lower, you know? Those goals are really, really exciting. This job can give you that vehicle, but just be clear on what you want and then own it. Because either way is okay, right? But don't feel guilty if, you know, I think a lot of the times when people feel guilty is that they haven't totally decided where they fit. what they want out of it, right? And like Ashlyn said, she doesn't want to be the next Tim Fitzpatrick. Like, damn, I don't even know if I want to be either. You know, like I'm really, really happy in my life. I love working in the morning and enjoying my kids in the afternoon. Kim works a lot harder than me. You know, I want some of the things she has. I'd love the recognition and success. I might even go for it next year. You know, I don't know. But I'm okay with where I'm at, and I have my non-negotiables. You know, I want to bring in like 10 to 12 incredible coaches each year. And I know what I need to do that, you know? So if you're unclear about, so first of all, figure out what you want and figure out what feels good for you, and then get with your coach and say, what do you think? If I want to make $1,000 in this business every single month, like pretty consistently, what do you think? What do I need to do? How many hours should I commit? Like, what are the tasks I should do? You know, have like a regrouping meeting with your coach and set some goals and get excited about it instead of like feeling tied down by it. It's not top 10 or nothing, basically, is the message. There's so much joy in coaching at every different level, you know? That's all I got. I'm really, really excited for what's ahead. Like, I'm traveling 4 of the next 6 weeks. I feel a little bit of a pit in my belly about that because I have a really big business I want to run. But more than anything, I want to enjoy my life, and I want to be genuinely happy because I have a great life. And I was thinking about it recently, like, this job is amazing, and it's providing me a life I could have never imagined. And I'm not operating at necessarily the success level that makes me super, super proud, but I'm daily getting more clear on that, you know? And we're all in different seasons. Like, you might see me just spike to the top in September or in January or in 2 years or in 5 years, you know? I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm going to be really good with evaluating what I want at all the different levels, and I hope you do too. Good, Jen. And Jen moved to Las Vegas. I officially have a coach here, and I got to go see her, and that was pretty awesome too. So that's a huge win today. Anybody want to share or have questions, or we should wrap it up? Maybe we can all do a takeaway of starting a note on our phone to see the good and connecting with our coach and telling them what the hell we want out of coaching and what success looks like to us. Have an awesome night, guys. For anybody that's going to Summit, we are doing a meeting next Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And we're just going to talk about packing and all the things that you need to know for Summit. And if there's anybody on this call who wishes that they had enrolled to come to Summit, it's not too late. There's people looking to add someone to their room to save costs. You can buy a ticket and you can come. You do not need permission. You do not need to be any rank. You just need to get yourself in the room. And I know for myself, I was not making enough money to justify going to Summit that year. I went to Summit because I was really curious about if this business was for me. So that's all the reason I went. I was just like, let's go see, you know? And it really changed a lot for Erin and I. So I hope that if it's in your belly that you take a leap and that you go and reach out if you decide to do that. So have a great night, guys.